The Kardashians have been in the spotlight for nearly 2 decades now, becoming cultural icons over the years and making obnoxious amounts of money doing it. With that being said, to no surprise, with every little move being recorded for TV, social media, or whatever other reason, naturally the Kardashian clan have been caught doing some things they probably shouldn't have. Today on InformOverload, we're counting down the top 10 reasons the Kardashians should be in jail. Oh yeah, we keep it spicy around here, folks. I'm your host, Jared Pepper Bronstein. We're keeping it spicy all the time, baby. Smash that like button and let's go! Starting us off at 10, Khloe's DUI. Yeah, some of the numbers on here aren't necessarily the most jail-worthy depending who you ask, but this one, across the board, is a safe jail play. Yet for some reason, Khloe, I'm not gonna act surprised, guys, she wasn't spending more than a few hours in jail. Let's be real here. So Khloe drank too much, got behind the wheel, and got caught in 2007. Normally, upon getting a DUI, you go to jail, but Khloe got 3 years probation, removal of roadside garbage, and an alcohol educational class. Ridiculous, eh? Want to hear what's even more ridiculous? Even though she only got probation, some classes, and a cleanup for her DUI, Khloe skipped it all because she's a Kardashian. Oh my god. Well, the government doesn't care. So Khloe was then sentenced to just 30 days in jail, but guess what, folks? She'd only spend about 3 hours in the slammer. Why? It was overcrowded. And then apparently everyone was just ready to move on. So, in case you guys didn't know, apparently in the state of California, you could drink and drive, get caught, then not actually deal with what you have to deal with and actually pay the price, and then go to jail for breaking your probation, and then get released from jail if it's overcrowded. Isn't that a fantastic place to be? At number 9, Kim and Kourtney's monkeys. Once upon a time, the two sisters were seen chilling with some very small monkeys. They were cute, I won't lie. I love monkeys. But you know who else loves monkeys but doesn't find the Kardashians playing with them cute? Animal activists, that's who. More specifically, PETA, who I want to call them PETA because it looks like PETA, but it's PETA, jumped in because that's what they do, and others were quick to take to Twitter to let the Kardashians know what they were doing was wrong. According to the law in California, I quote, "It is illegal to own a monkey as a pet in California, and the acquiring of a monkey involves killing entire families to obtain the young." That's not okay. In a statement to Babe.com, PETA's director of captive animal law enforcement, Brittany Peete, said, I quote, "Mimosas should be jumping from tree to tree, playing with one another, and raising their offspring in large, tight-knit social groups. PETA urges families to steer clear of exhibitors that drag wild animals around town for this type of misguided stunt." Although Kourtney and Kim aren't the ones taking the monkeys from the families, they're enabling it by creating a market. Jailworthy? You guys tell me. At number 8, we got Rob Kardashian. Oh yeah, we're trying to hit the whole family with this list, folks. Rob is the youngest of the Kardashians, not including the Jenners, of course, and he's definitely had his fair share of controversies and drama over the years, specifically with his ex, Blac Chyna. And following a very public, messy breakup between the two, Rob would take to his social media, specifically Twitter after getting shut down by Instagram, to post some explicit photos of Chyna. More specifically, he would post photos of her bare chest and lower body, as well as a video appearing to show her in bed with another man. Again, there is a California law which prohibits this type of behavior, which to some could be considered revenge. You know, like the other word that I can't say. We'll say revenge adult entertainment. That's how I'm going to say it, but you guys know what I'm trying to get at here. I just can't say that word. The actual law reads, "It is illegal for one to be," I quote, "intentionally distributing an image of the intimate body part of another identifiable person, knowing that said distribution would cause that person serious emotional distress." So what Rob did. On to number 7, our girl Kylie. Driving and texting / recording. Okay, hear me out, guys. This sounds silly, but I think I may have a case against Kylie here. So first things first, about 2 weeks after getting her license, Kylie would get into an accident after being accused of texting and driving. So the fact that she got into an accident already, pretty bad. But it gets worse, as Kylie had apparently continued this trend of either texting or recording herself like selfie mode while driving. In 2019, a tweet showed Kylie driving and recording herself on the highway, proving she hasn't changed her ways, and although as of late it seems she hasn't gotten into any accidents, thankfully, well, they say distracted driving is just as bad as drunk driving. Should she face jail time for the offense? Maybe not, but given that she's done it over and over again over the years, clearly she's continued to be on her phone while driving. Well, if you don't want to take her license away, then teach her a lesson in jail. I don't know what else. Like, does she have to kill somebody before we determine, okay, you have to stop this? I don't understand. As you guys can tell, I don't care if they're a Kardashian or not. If they break the law, they should go to jail, or at the very least be fined. I don't care who you are. Now, number 6, Kylie and Travis Scott. Parking in accessible parking spaces, formerly known as handicapped parking. Okay, this one is a bit of a stretch, and I'm willing to admit that, guys, but this list was incredibly hard to do, and I wasn't gonna be here and be like, here are the top 9 reasons they should be in jail. No, we want a whole number here, folks, so just give me this one. And honestly, when you hear why they parked in the spot in the first place, well, you'll agree they should go to jail. For the sake of an Instagram picture, at least that's what it appeared like on Kylie's page, Travis and Kylie were seen parked in the accessible parking spot. Being caught usually leads to a fine of a few $100s and potential points on your license. People were quick to call the couple out on her post, with comments reading, I quote, "As accessibility advocate, I am disappointed you appear to be parked in front of accessibility parking spaces." And I quote, "I guess celebrities can park wherever they want." Jay Ruderman, a disabled rights activist, explained to People magazine, I quote, "Accessible parking is meant for people with disabilities who need it. As a role model to many, this is an opportunity for Kylie Jenner to use her celebrity status to help society understand why accessible parking is a basic right for people with disabilities to be included in daily life." I don't know, it just seems sometimes the Kardashians do things simply because they know they won't face the same repercussions that the average person would do. So maybe we need to come down harder on them than the average person, you know? Just to kind of drive home that point of like, I know before you got away with everything, but now we're gonna give you guys even more of a punishment just to prove that you guys can't keep doing this. At number 5, all of them for undisclosed Instagram ads. In the past, a few of the Kardashians or Jenners came under fire for promoting brands they didn't disclose they were getting paid to promote. A great example would be the perfect Kendall Jenner promoting that dumpster fire of an event, Fyre Fest, in which she had many people thinking that she'd be there alongside her many supermodel friends. They didn't go, and as we know, it was a mess. Some point to that fiasco leading to the law where influencers need to outright say when a post is sponsored by a company with a little hashtag ad or hashtag sponsored. However, prior to this, the Kardashians were sent a letter back in 2016 from Truth in Advertising, telling them that they found over 100 Instagram posts with paid promotions not disclosed. At the time, it wasn't as serious as it is now, but still, the idea of promoting different products over 100 times across all their social medias without outright telling their hundreds of millions of followers collectively they are being paid, it seems a little scummy. I don't know, once is like whatever, but over 100 times? Like, come on, that's just not right. Now on to number 4, Scott Disick protecting Kim in a bar fight. It was on an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and like I said, we're trying to hit as many Jenners or Kardashians as we can, including their ex-partners with whom they share a child with, and Scott falls under that category. And many years ago, while filming an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, it seems the crew decided to head to the club for some party time. And unsurprisingly, while they were at the club, some drama had to go down when a male fan asked Kim for a photo. After posing for a selfie, this fan's girlfriend started to mouth off to Kim, calling her every name in the book, which, I don't know, it just seems like a bad plotline for a reality show. Huh. Either way, it got heated. Scott got involved to try to calm things down, but then this guy got into Scott's face and the two started to push and grab each other. Assault or self-defense? Who knows? What I do know is that given that these are some of the biggest reality stars in the world with cameras in a club, this fight was likely planned. So if Scott doesn't get booked for jail, toss him in the slammer for the horrendous acting, because I'm sorry, but Kim, Scott, it was so bad. If you guys just type in on YouTube like Scott Disick bar fight, it's literally like, hey, get out of my face, bro. Like that's literally, don't get out of my face, bro. As an actor, I was like, can I just have 5 minutes with you just to teach you a thing or two? Now at number 3, Kendall's Halloween party. At what appeared to be the height of the pandemic, where influencers in California throwing house parties were literally having their power cut off because they wouldn't listen to the government, Kendall had a low-key birthday bash. And by low-key, it was the furthest thing from that, with hundreds of maskless attendees partying with the Kardashians and Jenners, ringing in Kendall's 25th birthday. Aside from the fact that people were pissed, every celebrity in Hollywood, from Bieber to Doja Cat, Jaden Smith to The Weeknd, were all in attendance, living their best lives, while the rest of the world tried to literally just survive. It seems what irked people the most was the no social media rule. A flyer was actually printed all around the party, asking attendees not to post anything on socials, likely fearing any potential backlash. How this was allowed, I genuinely could not tell you, as I feel if the average person did that, they would either face a very hefty fine or potentially jail time, especially given when the party happened, in October of 2020, at the height of California's COVID pandemic viruses, the whole thing going nuts. At number 2, Kris Jenner's former bodyguard, Mark. In 2020, Jenner's former bodyguard, Mark McWilliams, alleged that Kris touched him inappropriately, grabbing his butt, groin, and exposing herself to him. Then in January of 2021, Mark would hit Kris and the Kardashians with even more allegations, adding on to the inappropriate actions as well as racial discrimination from the year prior. The suit claimed Mark had to deal with, I quote, a hostile work environment, racial discrimination, and gender discrimination, among a few other things, which unfortunately I cannot say. Kris and her legal team denied all the claims, claiming Mark got caught sleeping in his car on the job and was subsequently released from the company he worked for. As of now, there haven't been any updates, but if found guilty, the Kardashians will just pay a large sum of money, even though if these claims are true, any other person without large sums of money would potentially face jail time. Isn't it nice to be rich and famous, guys? It's like this whole video I've been chirping them about it, but I'm sure it's great because you can do whatever you want. Morally, it's probably awful, but like in regards to just doing whatever you want and not caring about it, it's probably the best. Now at number 1, Caitlyn Jenner for manslaughter. This is a very serious case, and even though Caitlyn's actions allegedly caused someone to lose their life, it seems she was let off the hook. Now, as per reports, Caitlyn was driving under the legal speed limit. However, a sheriff's report claimed that Jenner's actions, I quote, put into motion the chain of events that would lead to the death of Kim Howe in a car accident. Jenner's car hit Howe's car, pushing Howe into oncoming traffic. Unfortunately, in the accident, Howe would lose her life. Although Jenner was driving under the legal speed limit, reports claim she was driving at an unsafe speed given the road conditions. Now, based on the court's opinion, Jenner wasn't charged because there wasn't, I quote, a violation of a misdemeanor or infraction. And as per the district attorney's office, I quote, based on facts, we cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the suspect's conduct was unreasonable. She will not be charged. That being said, she still paid the family a settlement of almost $1 million, which, if you're not at fault, why are you paying a settlement? That's all I'm saying, guys. And that's all for this one, guys. Let us know your thoughts on this one down below. For now, let's reply to some of your comments from the video. Pete Davidson gets muted after confronting Jake Paul about this. The Truth 1214 said, how can he have CTE? He doesn't even have cauliflower ear, a sign of a true fighter. Well, there's actually surgery you could get to remove cauliflower ear, but football players get it too, and they don't fight. It's just consistent head trauma. But again, considering how Jake has been boxing for like 3 years, you don't have, I don't think, unless he just gets hit in the face over and over and over again, which from his last 3 fights, we see he doesn't get hit very often because he fights people that don't know how to box. Riser said, and the best part is Pete Davidson wasn't even lying and was right from the start. Yeah, 100%. I feel like that's how I would handle that situation though. Like even when I do videos like this about the Kardashians, you know, I'm not, as you guys know, I'm not very involved in the Kardashian world, so I just take jabs and I have fun because I'm like, why are we okay with these people that have a lot of money and are famous and everyone loves just breaking the law all the time and just being like, but it's the Kardashians. No, it's not. I don't care who they are. Throw them in jail. Zoe Mariella said, it's so great to watch Pete Davidson interact with Jake Paul because you could just see how much completely goes over his head. Differently life experiences, I suppose. Pete honestly just seems more insightful. I think there's definitely an age difference. I'm pretty sure Pete Davidson's like 27, 28 at least, and Jake's like 24. So I will say, like being 27 now, I'm definitely a lot wiser and more intelligent than I was at 24. Age is a huge part of it. I also think it's upbringing. Like Jake's been in the spotlight since he was like literally 14 or 15 now maybe. So he hasn't really experienced life as a human being. You know what I mean? It's always been rich and famous and just get whatever you want. And you know, you don't have to really do much. So, I mean, don't take away, he's a hard worker guy. I'll say he's very hard working. Anyways, guys, that's all for this one. I've been your host, Jared Bronstein. Stay spicy, my friends, and we'll see you soon.